Hello again and welcome back to Satisfactory. The previous episode that I wanted to release where I built the rotors? No. Where I built something, Encased Industrial Beams, failed to record any audio. So unfortunately I've made that build and didn't show that one. I'll come back to it. Well, as in I'll show it off in just a moment. The plan today is definitely to try to make, though, the last thing which is left, which is Stators. Once I've got Stators up and running, I will then have everything I need to move on to the next tier, which will unlock us fuel. But in the meantime, I thought I would show off the storage facility that I've been working on in the background here. As you can see, I've been trying to play around a bit with depth and trying to make something a little bit aesthetic, and I apparently failed to color this. But effectively, we've got all of the basic resources that are used in the production of any building along here somewhere. I'll also have things like fuel, which I'll want to have access to. And then at the back here, we've got a MAM. We've got a whole chunk of just standard personal storage boxes, which are currently empty, I believe. And then over to the left here, which also needs to have these colored. I don't think it's possible to get that one without removing the glass pane. Okay, I'll ignore that for now. Over here we've got a rubbish disposal where I can just put things into that and they would automatically get eaten, except the awesome sink at the back here doesn't yet have power. But as soon as it has power, anything that gets thrown into that disposal there will automatically get removed by the awesome sink. I later on will put a smart splitter, programmable splitter, so that it will only actually take things that can go into the awesome sink, because otherwise it can get clogged up. And at the front here, I've just got like some tractors and a couple of extra buggies just to make it look a bit lived in, like a parking area at the front there. But in the meantime, if we pop back to the back, and I'm in the Crater Oasis area. The Crater Lakes is where I've decided to put it. I don't want to really destroy the Crater Lakes. I quite like the look of this biome, but I thought that worked quite well, just sort of tucked away in the edge there. The base, I have built this bridge going up to the Crater Lakes there in that storage facility, and then of course our old base is sitting over there with our coal and the coal output over there as well. That was not what I intended to do. And so then if we just pop in over here, then up here I'm bringing in 240 limestone, I think it's a half a belt of iron, and a half a belt of coal. Oh, actually that looks like it's probably a full Mark II belt. So maybe it's 120 of each. And then those are basically working their way through. Yeah, because that also is running full speed. So it must be 120 iron, 120 coal, and 240 concrete. And then all of this makes steel ingots that then gets converted into steel pipes. Let me just grab a assembler here. I'm going to need a few rotors. So effectively I'm using this alternate recipe, so I need steel pipes and concrete. So that's why we're bringing in all of that limestone to make the concrete, and then making steel pipes out of the steel that's coming in. So fairly easy build, but unfortunately I did lose that one because I didn't have the audio recording. Over here we've got the encased industrial beams piling up fairly quickly, and in fact if we take half of those we can immediately go down and make hypertubes. And hypertubes we can of course use to connect this facility, our storage facility up there, and basically all of the extra things together without having to constantly walk and drive between everything. So hypertubes are a very nice progression step. Perfect.
Milestone reached. Fixit Incorporated has processed and incorporated frequent Pioneer requests for pipe-based personal transport. Introducing Hypertubes. Safe, aesthetic, adaptable, fun. Enjoy a view of your hard work as you soar through incredibly tight turns. Build them today. Note: Fixit Incorporated is not responsible for any harm caused by irresponsible use of this product.
And with that built, we have completed everything in Tier 2, everything in Tier 4, so Tier 3, Tier 4, and so the last thing we've got left is to unlock the complete space elevator phase 2. We've also, if we take a quick look through, we have automated modular frames, rotors, nothing more there, steel beams, steel pipes, and encased industrial beams. We haven't made stators yet. Motors need stators, and we haven't done heavy modular frames. But we have basically automated everything except stators and heavy modular frames at this point. And so let's go try to make a stator build up here. Now, the stator build, there's a few different recipes that you can use, but the one I'm intending to use here is going to be this guy here, the alternate quick wire stator, which uses 60 quick wire per minute and 16 steel pipes per minute. Now over here we've got a quick wire production facility, and so if we grab the output of this, and what have we got here? That's a Mark 1 belt, that's a Mark 1 belt. Show me this. This is making exactly 60 per minute. So for now, let's just put a splitter in here. We can get rid of that so that we can put the splitter right in the middle. And then we can feed there, and then this can just go straight over. Okay, and then we want it up here. So how about we bring it in here, and I'll go upstairs and basically hook in where it's going to join into. Also, of course, we've got the modular frames and encased industrial beams overflowing into our awesome sink here as well, because those are the most advanced components we've currently got. Modular frames are already completely full, so those are all just overloading. The encased industrial beams are mostly full, so that should fairly soon become a constant supply from them as well. But if we go in over here, so what we want is we want to put, effectively we want an input line of quick wire and an input line of steel pipes. We could potentially make the steel pipes using miners, basically using solid steel foundries and such, but at this point I think it's probably going to be simplest, although probably a bit ugly, to just branch it off of here. Conveniently, we actually already have, that is such a horrendous mess, but we already have here a line that could come out. It'll clip through the wall and be ugly as everything, but this line will then allow us to okay, how about we bring it out over here, rebuild that wall, and then this can hook around. Let's do this. Oop. How about take that back 2, and then that should be able to run straight down the middle. And we can go here. Apologies for how dirty this whole build is, but effectively just going for function at the moment, and form will come later. Now that we've got that storage facility, as I say, we're trying to push forwards to getting fuel, to getting oil, and also to getting trains. Once we've got trains, we'll be rebuilding everything that we've got here. So we are getting reasonably close to the point where we will be looking to do a complete rebuild. So with that in mind, I'm just going to look to throw down a few assemblers along here. See how much space we've got at the back. That looks adequate. Let's put some mergers along here. So pointing that way, pointing that way, and pointing that way. Perfect. Now these can all be set. Then we just want quick wire stators. 3 of these will be able to make 24. And then, so we can just use conveyor belt Mark 1s the whole way along. And we can just put a storage crate about here to take the output. After how ugly everything is coming in, we make sure that it's a perfect 90-degree angle at the output there. So, step 1 is we are going to need to split all the way along here. One, two, three, perfect. Now we only need something like 48 input steel pipes, so a standard Mark 1 will do the job. And all of these are set to the correct thing. We just need to connect some power, which easiest option will be to go from here to, let's go there, and then connect all of these. Good, so those will all fill up with steel pipes, and now we just need to bring the quick wire in. The quick wire is probably easiest if we put it, in fact, let's get rid of these lines so that we can do this first. So what we want is we want to bring in, let's see, where is it? There. We want to bring in from the over here, feed those in, and then we should be able to just go like that along these. And even then they seem tighter than I would have expected. But then we can just pull all of these back together, and that is definitely going to need to be a tier 2. So it can do 120 because these need 60 per minute. And then this is going to need to feed into it with a tier 3 conveyor, which can point this way. And then we just need the Mark 3 belt running to there. Perfect. Now we just need to pop back downstairs, boom, and feed our belt here into it. At the moment it's only a Mark 1 belt, but we also only have one constructor producing them. So this will do a third, and then in order to get all of it up to speed, we basically just need to increase the output over on this side. Question number 1 is how much is the miner producing and how much does this actually need? So this needs 12 per minute. The miner will be producing at least 60 per minute. Yep. So what we can easily do, this uses 45 to do 15. Okay. So the easiest option is actually, step 1 is going to be replacing this with a Mark II miner, which will then allow us to put more smelters in place. With 30 Caterium ingots, we still won't quite be able to do 3 of these. So we're going to need basically 30, we're going to need 36, which will be, I think, 2.4 smelters. Yeah, because we'll need another 6 out of 15. So the easiest option would seem to be 1, make the Mark II miner, 2, make another smelter, and then overclock one of the smelters. Then we can feed 3 constructors off of the output of the 2 smelters. So if we quickly pop up here, we can grab our encased industrial beams that we need to make the Mark II, and then we can just quickly pop over to our equipment workshop, and we will be able to also make 2 more portable miners, and then that will allow us to make the Mark II miner. Perfect. And then we can pop back up here. Have to go around because it's up on a hill. Yeah, I think there's a broken texture there. And then, boom, here we go. So, that one, Mark II. I didn't realize. So I need steel pipes and modular frames. Thankfully, I have both of those automated. So it'll be very easy to just pop over here and pick up both of those. Also, I do note that the steel pipes, we're not bringing a full pipe in, and so possibly I'm going to need to change that so that it's not feeding the steel pipes into the awesome sink. In fact, I think I'm going to do that right now. And that should fix the throughput issue if we just get rid of that line. So that now the steel pipes can only go into this storage container and into the production over there. I could also change it so that it no longer clips through that other wall there, but it's fine, it's all hidden. We don't need to worry about it or even acknowledge that it exists. And here we go, Stators being produced. Very, very nice. But of course, that's only being produced at 1/3 speed. Yeah, there you go, 35%, because our incoming quick wire is not able to keep up with the requirement. And because it's a manifold, this one will actually eventually build up and get to more than 33%. But I don't hold my breath on that actually lasting for all that, like balancing out all that well, because as I say, there's not enough input coming in on this single Mark I line. But now we should be able to make a Mark II miner. Perfect. And then we can make another smelter outputting here. We can get rid of that. We can put a splitter in front of it. I think I turned that splitter in the wrong direction, but let's quickly do this. Yeah. Okay, let's move these smelters a little bit. So that we've got a bit more space here to put a splitter. Okay, what if instead we put this on that side? Well, that will connect, perfect. And then we want a Mark II belt, so it's doing 120, good. And then these can move yet again. So we want smelters, and smelters can be there and there. And then conveyor belt Mark 1 into both of those. Perfect. And then Caterium ingots, and they need power. Where's the power line? U. Okay. Put that there, connect both of those. And then I did say I would want to overclock as well. So for that, we're going to need to go get one of our power shards. Which is sitting right here in our expensive storage chest. Boom. In fact, give me 2. I shouldn't need 2, but we'll grab a spare just in case. Save me coming back here for a little while. Oh, one thing I said in the previous episode, but not in this one, you can see all of the phase 2 components. I have just basically I made an assembler that I was over right there, and I've got a couple of storage crates sitting behind it. There, you can see one of them in the middle there, which I'm basically just manually feeding into those, the 2 inputs for each of the ingredients that we're making at this stage. That was a mistake. Okay, I can fix it fairly easily by, let's go here. We can make a storage container that's going to be outputting in this direction, and then we can just connect that down to there, and then get rid of all this quickwire in my inventory. And we can grab all of this spare, perfect. And then throw it also into there you go. That'll be fine, a little bit extra. And I can get rid of this ore that I don't need. And boom. So these will now be pretty full with Caterium ore. This one I said 140. Boom. So that'll make 21 plus 15 is 36. Perfect. Now we need to actually merge all of these together. Nope. So perfect. That make so 36 into one line, and then we split those back apart. Where's the inputs there? Good. And what we want is 3 compactors utilizing all of that output. Not compactors, constructors. Perfect. So, arguably, we could just do that. That'll be fine. That's not going to work because we need another splitter input there. Good. Now that one there, one there, one there, perfect. And then we just need to power all of these. and tell them to make quick wire. Cool. And then the last step will be merging all of them back together over on this side. Yeah, we need a Mark II here, and then for the rest of this, it's going to be a Mark III. Perfect. Now, if we get rid of that, then we can just connect this straight onto there. And we can use this storage container here to hold a chunk of the quick wire. Just going to clear up a little bit of this space around it. Perfect. And then the last step is all of this belting needs to be replaced so that it can all carry the increased supply. So last thing, I'm just going to need these steel beams. And then we can take that, Mark III. Boom, there you go. You can already see a full conveyor Mark III going up. Perfect. So that should now triple the output of our stators and get it all the way up to 24 per minute. Now, in the meantime, let's quickly grab 50 of those and pop back down here to show basically what I was doing. So over here, this I was selecting the various different recipes. So we needed the smart plating. I just fed it the reinforced iron plates, the rotors, the versatile framework. I fed it the modular frames and the steel beams, and then lastly the automated wiring. We need one stator to make one automated wiring. So these 50 stators, plus we're going to need 20 per one of these cables. We need 100 in total, so I'm going to need 2,000 cables. 2,000 cables, very easy, and the other 50 stators are just a matter of time at this point. And of course, we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And of course, we can also now use those stators in order to make motors if we need them for something. So if we quickly pop here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All the cables are now going in, 50 stators, and then we will pull another 50 stators soon when those have been made, basically in just over 2 minutes. And then they automatically get fed out into our space elevator. And as soon as all of those automated wiring is done, we will be able to continue on. But this does also only produce 6.25 per minute. So if we take a quick look, it's going to take 16 minutes for this to make all of the automated wiring. And that is at this triple, at 2.5 times speed. Also, note that that says 125 per minute. So we weren't keeping up with that Mark I belt. But now, with a Mark III belt, we no longer have an issue with the cables. Perfect. So this will actually run at 6.25 per minute and take about 16 minutes to finish phase 2. At which point, we will unlock oil and can start getting rubber and plastic and quite a number of much more interesting recipes up and running. Boom, there you go. There's already more than 50 sitting there. So let's split that, put away that 8, and then we can throw these into that storage crate. In fact, we don't need to. We can, given that it's only 100, throw these straight into there. But generally, I would put them into that crate. And then this is just going to work away in the background. It's already done 6, and so I'm just going to have to wait about 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready to complete phase 2. But all of that aside, Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.